Hey guys, you're back with Steph and Dennis, and today we're talking about what you can do for your financial self-care. If you didn't already know, July 24th, 2021 is International Self-Care Day. And typically I feel like people don't think about money and our finances when we think of self-care. You're probably picturing like a bubble bath, face mask, glass of wine, cooking a big meal or dinner for yourself, maybe spending some money on yourself, something like that. But you know what we're all about on this channel, which is the money. Money can be one of the biggest causes of stress, even more so than health, work, and our relationships. And I believe one of the biggest reasons why that is because we don't feel in control of our money. So getting on track with your finances is absolutely a self-care activity because it's literally stress reducing for you. So today we're going to talk about what you can do to get on track with your money and feel empowered with it as well. We also want to give a big thank you and shout out to the Canada Deposit Insurance Corporation for partnering with us on today's video. We've worked with them before on the channel, as you all know, and we'll talk a little bit about them later on in the video. So for now, show us some love down below, hit that subscribe and like button, and let's jump right into the video.
Okay, so first up, you need to remember that you need to create your own relationship with money. I think there's definitely been a lot of us who've been in that position where you've heard the right rules or, you've seen the different steps that a lot of people apply to their own money journeys in their life. But when it comes to applying it to your own personal life, it almost feels impersonal and cold. It's almost as if you're following something for the sake of just doing it. And the money goal that you're following, you don't really care about, Like, I know for me, when it comes to investing now, so obviously we did the whole debt-free journey thing, and that was hard in and of itself to stay up to date, to make sure you're making those payments, right? But when it comes to investing, when I'm on Instagram or when I'm looking online and I'm seeing all these people doing all these fun things, and I'm constantly asking Steph, like, where are these people getting this money from? And then she's consistently reminding me, hey, that money that they're spending, that's what you have in your savings and your investments, right? So it's kind of wrapping your head around your journey being different from someone else's journey. So what you first need to do is make sure you decide on what your goals really are before you go out and you seek more information on how to actually achieve them. While at the same time, you also need to think about what hitting those goals and meeting those goals means to you. So instead of just setting the goal of I just want to pay off my debt, think about it a bit differently. I want to pay off my debt so that I can save money to buy a home, save money so that I can, be in a better financial position to invest more, whatever that is, right? Think about it from that perspective. What this means is that step one is reflecting on your money goals and your money relationship.
Next up is creating a money routine, or basically setting up a recurring money date with yourself. And I personally like to do this at the beginning of the month, so either on the first or on the first weekend. And setting a recurring date is important too, because you're basically setting up time that you cannot skip out on. You should be treating it like it's a mandatory meeting with you. So during this time with yourself, you can do a deep dive on how you handled your money in the month that just passed, and also how you plan to handle your money in the month coming up. So for me, the first thing I do is pull up my Mint budgeting app and look at how I did against all my different budget categories for the month that just passed. Did I overspend in a way that I wasn't supposed to and I didn't want to? Do I need to change any of my budget categories up for the month going forward? Also, I personally largely use my Mint budgeting app for what I spent, but I also want to take a look at how much I saved and invested. Did I hit my goals? How do I feel about how much I was able to save and invest? Again, if you guys know me, I obviously have it set up on automatic payments, but if you don't do that, that's a really good activity to do during this time as well. I also do a quick few-minute glance at my checking account to see if there's anything going on there that I need to look into. For example, if I have a credit card balance I need to pay off, I would do that during this time. If there's any fraudulent activities or charges that I didn't know happened or it didn't happen because of me, look into that during that time as well and make sure all is good. The next thing I'll do is looking forward. I'll start setting up my actual next month's budgeting categories in my Mint app and plan and forecast my budgeting for the month then. And the last thing that I do that's personal to me, if you've seen any of our past investing videos, is I manually transfer $350 into my Well Simple Trade account for my more active investing. The other thing that you might want to add to your money date with yourself is looking at any of those big money goals that you have and how you're actually tracking towards them, what progress you're making. So if you're trying to pay off your debt, how's that going? How much have you paid off? How much is left? How full is your emergency fund? Whatever the goal is for you. And the last thing is if you have any big money to do items. So anything that you've put off throughout the month, like if you've been planning to switch internet providers to a lower cost provider, if you've been wanting to switch banks, you want to up your credit card limit, whatever it is, those big money to to-dos that sometimes we just push to the back burner for months. If you have this set date with yourself once per month, use that time too to do any of those bigger tasks. We'll also have everything I just mentioned, this kind of money date with yourself checklist, linked down below in the description box for you to have as well, and actually take that copy with you forward if you want to start doing this for yourself.
Okay, so next up is something that we've definitely talked about before, but it's also one of the best ways that you can set yourself up for those long-term wins without even thinking about it, and that's paying yourself first. So many people have the intention of saving what's left over after they've covered their expenses, but that's the exact problem that we have right there. It's what you're prioritizing first. Think about it this way: when you don't have a specific money goal in mind and it's just, let's save what's left over, it can be super easy, and I know a lot of people can attest to this, right? It can be super easy to find different little things to spend your money on once it's left over. The reality of what actually happens when you do that is that you're left over with a much smaller piece of the pie to actually dedicate to yourself, which should be a little bit different had you paid yourself first. So basically it's a mindset shift, right? So when it comes to your expenses every month, they're either optional or they're mandatory. And what you're doing when you're following, the whole pay yourself first mentality, right? What you're doing is that you're moving the saving and investing buckets from that optional category over to that mandatory category. So you're prioritizing them first, whereas previously you're prioritizing them last.
Last up is being confident with money. This is a huge thing that you can do for yourself. You're basically moving yourself out of that state of thinking that money is scary, money is bad, that everyone else must know something about money that you don't know and you're not in the loop on. Now, it definitely takes some time to build up that financial confidence. Even if I think about myself, about a year ago on the channel when Dennis wanted us to start talking about investing topics at the time, for me, I felt like I knew basically nothing, and I definitely didn't have the confidence to talk about that. Now, I felt really comfortable talking about budgeting and saving money because it's a topic that I felt like I knew a lot about and I could really talk about my personal experiences with it. But when it came to topics that were newer to me and that I wasn't doing as often myself at that stage, it caused those mini anxiety moments every time that we would talk about doing those types of videos. Now, the two things that really helped me grow confidence with money was one, changing and challenging my mindset. So moving out of that self-talk of always telling myself, oh, you don't know anything about this and you can't do it. Just scrapping that mentality and thinking that you can, there's just some things to learn. So even more so than that, the second thing was actually taking the time to research and really grow my knowledge, and learn more about those topics that I was lacking that deep understanding in. Also, like I mentioned in the intro to this video, we did partner with CDIC, the Canada Deposit Insurance Corporation, for this video. CDIC protects any of your eligible deposits. So for example, those could be your deposits into your personal or joint accounts, or also your TFSA and RRSP. Now, deposit insurance isn't something that we typically think of when it comes to managing our money and our finances, but let's say one of their member institutions, which means a bank or a federally regulated credit union, ends up failing, they will help protect you up to $100,000 in each of their protected categories. And now what's really great about CDIC is that you don't have to sign up. They're already there for you right now as long as you're banking with one of their members. And now if you're not sure if your financial institution that you're with is a member of CDIC, we'll pop the logo up on the screen right now that you can check out. That should be on your bank or federally regulated credit union's website if they are CDIC insured. And we'll also link in the description box below onto their website. You can see their full list of members there. Now, CDIC is a great partner for this video topic because they actually have a really fun game on their website up right now called the Flippin' Fun Summer Game, where you can work on your financial literacy by answering trivia questions, watching informative videos, and by playing, you'll be entered to win a chance to win up to $5,000. So if you happen to be watching this video before August 16th, 2021, the game's still going on, and we'll have it linked in the description box below for you to check out and play.
Alright guys, that's a wrap on this video. We hope we gave you some good ideas, some cool tips on how to actually show yourself some financial self-care. If there's anything that we didn't cover, if anyone has any other thoughts, make sure you let us know down in the comment box below. I'm sure someone else will appreciate it as well. Once again, we want to give a huge shout out to CDIC for sponsoring this video. We will have their website linked down in the description box below, so make sure you check that out. We will be back with another video in a few days, but in the meantime, if you haven't checked out some of our previous videos, you already know what's up. Make sure you check them out next door, and we will be back. You know the vibes. Let's go.